There are a ton of different colorways and configurations you can pick up the Omega Seamaster. This one, the Seamaster Divers 300, on loan from Exquisite Timepieces in Naples, Florida, your trusted authorized dealer for Omega and 60 other brands. Check them out, link in the description, as well as contact information to get a hold of my contact there, Tyler. But you can talk to anybody there. They get busy. I've heard people tell me, yeah, Tyler's not hitting me back. It's like, well, because he's busy. They get busy. So like, obviously try to get a hold of Tyler, tell him I sent you, but you can reach out to anybody there. Tyler's just my contact. This is the 210.30.42.20.20.006.002. We got to come up with a better name. That's just too many numbers in a row. Yeah, so if this is called something, if it has like a nickname, guys, let me know down in the comments. I don't know, do we give nicknames to the Seamasters? But this one's pretty bright. It's pretty much all silver, and the dial is like a brushed metal look. Applied markers, of course. Polished handset, skeletonized, 2 different colored lume on those. I'll show you that in a moment. And that bezel insert is actually titanium. Pretty wild. Grade 5 titanium. So it has nice polish to it. And then, of course, you have that scalped bezel. Those lyre lugs, just classic Omega look. Paired up with this Milanese bracelet. This thing will come in at about $6,800. Snapshot time, prices always go up. So keep that in mind. I measure the case width on this. Technically, they call it a 42 millimeter watch. I would agree with them. It wears like a 42, but I measured it at 41.8, if we're going to be a little more exact. The lug to lug, I measure at 49.5 millimeter. The thickness is 14 millimeter, but you see you have a kind of box double dome sapphire crystal. This is a no date as well. Pretty cool. 20 millimeter lug opening. So this thing would look really cool, I think, on a rich brown leather strap. I don't know, maybe I'm a little odd that way, but I think this one would work really good. Or just a straight, like, a nice black leather would look really good with this as well. This Milanese does taper down to 17 millimeter, and then it's a simple fold over. And for positioning, you just go to one of those holes. I do kind of wish they were a little bit closer together, or there was some other further adjustment. We'll try it on wrist and see how it looks. 6.3 millimeter signed screw down crown. And then, of course, incredible finishing on all of these Omega watches. You can see the deep brushing, the sharp transition to the very high polish on those lyre lugs. The movement is the 8806 Master Coaxial Metas, 55-hour power reserve, and anti-magnetic up to 15,000 Gauss. And a 300 meter water depth rating on this. Of course, you do have the helium escape valve, the wart, some would call it, off to the side here. Let's pop it on wrist, and then, of course, we will do a lume shot. Yeah, it's pretty much sized for my wrist right now. Yeah, that works. That works. You can see how it flexes, and then this is the thing where a lot of people will have concerns because it'll start to get a little more rigid around here. So if you have a smaller wrist, I'm not sure how well these Milanese bracelets will work for you. But if you have a 7 1/4 or larger, maybe 7 inch or larger, maybe 6 3/4, I don't know, right in there, I think you're golden. You know, because it started with the titanium one with the No Time to Die. And I remember people talking about it. I kind of like the stainless steel. I kind of like the heft. I'm a huge fan of titanium, but there's that psychological thing, you know, when you're buying a luxury watch, when you're ponying up that big money, a little bit of weight is perceived as, you know, quality or something, you know. Check out that dial, though. $120 click bezel, like I said. I find it sounds better when you go slow. If you go a little bit rapid with it, it sounds a little weird. I don't know. And in the article, it said the bezel was titanium. I really don't think the bezel is titanium. I think it's the bezel insert. What do you guys think? All right, let's do the lume on this thing, because there is 2 different colors on this, which we're seeing on the Seamasters, of course. Sometimes you'll see it a little more obvious on others, but this one definitely the tie with the pip on the bezel to the minute hand, which is the 2 components that are like kind of tied together for timing dives. So that's why they do that. But great looking watch. I like the no date. Wouldn't be my first pick, if I'm completely honest, of the colorways, but very happy to show it because we do have options with Omega at Exquisite Timepieces, and they have them in stock. So get a hold of Tyler, tell him I sent you, pick out what Seamaster you want, make the deal. I'll see you guys in the next vid.